Hello, this is Debbie Kaufman, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today we are going to do the fractionated fraction card or the faux card, F-A-U-X. My inspiration came from the card my sister sent me, Lynn Starzel. So that's what she sent. And then I did a couple of different ones. And this one I used the same color of strips, and then this one I used black strips. I like the black better. And so we will be showing you the technique on this card here. I will kind of leave that up there. Okay. If you're a Stamp Club member, you'll be getting this kit. 2 of them. And you have your 4 strips, and these are 1/2 inch strips. This is from Stylish Shapes, and I went ahead and die cut it, but when I did my card I stamped it and then I had the die part right off so it would only be partial, but you can take your scissors and cut at the length you want. And then you have these 2 pieces from the Stylish Shapes. This is from the Fresh as a Daisy paper. And this is Moody Mauve basic card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then this is 5 by 5 1/4 by 4, which we're going to be putting our designer paper on. So let me just set that aside. Your designer paper is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. The Stylish Shapes, which, let's see if I have them here. So this is the one sentiment we used, and then we used the squares. And it's in the annual catalog. Okay, so I took the square and die cut your designer paper, because that is going to be over the top of this. And that will adhere to here. Then I took the same square and cut out, die cut crushed curry, because that fits in here. And then I did the next smaller square from Stylish Shapes, and that's what we're going to stamp our image on. Now I cannot send stamped images, so whatever image you have, if you have flowers, anything will work with these fractionated cards. So let me stamp this first, so that'll give a chance to dry. We're going to stamp them in Memento Black. And I also want to get a little damp rag here. To wipe off my stamp pad. Okay, so we're going to stamp this. Okay. Give that a chance to dry. And then while we have the ink out, we're going to stamp the sentiment. Coffee. It is coffee with a friend is the happiness in a cup. And I'm going to stamp that to the side. And I'll trim that down for what I need. And on the inside is going to be Let's Get Together Soon. And that will go. Okay. We'll let those dry. Cover up my ink. Now I thought that it was pretty white, so I wanted to take, use my blending brush to make it a little bit bluer in here, just to give a little bit of background. So I'm using Balmy Blue and a blending brush, and just giving it just a little dimension there. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to use our blending brushes. Now, I take my blending brushes and I add a little bit of Velcro. So when I put them in my container, I have my lights and my darks together. And this one, I'm just using a little bit of, this is the ivory, and this is going to be for the skin tones. So just do, and use the side of your, and here's your leg. Now, her fingers, I need to use a smaller fine point thing for the fingers. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to use the light copper clay. I wonder if I should have brought my other darker one for the hair. We're going to use a light copper clay for the booth that she's sitting on. And we'll just actually add that to her hair too, because I don't have the other ones with me. And then we have the darker. I just put a few lines in there. Okay. And put those back together again. Now the top I did in dark and light fresh freesia. So we'll add I like using blends, but I also find myself using markers a lot too. And markers you can blend with as well. So you'll see some of my videos using just the markers and not. And I'm going to go back over this a little bit. Okay. Put those two together. And then the pants. We'll do the light. So you can kind of see any color combination that you want to use is fine. And we'll add a little bit of the shadowing. And then blend that in there. And then I'm using the, for the cup, I'm using the small, I really don't need the dark on that. Nothing frustrates me more than going to my drawer of blends and finding the light and then I can't find the dark. So this really works out well for me. Gets rid of my frustration. Okay. We are going to adhere this to here. Remember, your blends bleed through. Markers do not. Okay. The next thing I want to do is adhere my designer paper to my card. Not to the card base, but to the 5 1/4 by 4. And like I said, any image, when you get the Stamp Club members, any image you have will work. Flowers would look pretty in there. Animals. The next thing we'll do, we're going to adhere this to inside of that. There's a lot of videos out there on how to do this, so if this doesn't make sense, please look for some other ones too. So see how it's coming together? Okay. Now the strips, these were wider and I wanted a little bit narrower. So what I'll be doing is I'll be putting them just along the edges here and leaving a little bit of the crushed curry to show through. So what I'm going to do right from this edge here, and then I'm going to do from here to here. And then from here to here. And then this one will go from here to here. Turn it over. Snip off the excess pieces. And then we will put it on our card. Bump goes on the inside. And this will go right here. So it's actually except for die cutting the little pieces, it actually goes quite quickly. And then this is going to go here. So I will cut right there and add my sentiment. And then you can save the piece that you cut off and use on another card. And then on the inside, I have not put anything on the envelope yet because I just haven't yet. So on your Coffee with Friends stamp set, we could probably put on the coffee or just the top part of this and just have the ladies and not do the whole bench. So there's things you could put on the envelope. And there's your card. Very quick, very easy. And I like the smaller stripes. The strips, I like that. I like them smaller. So that works out better for me too. Again, this is Debbie Kaufman, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.